Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Last episode, we helped out our friends from the sea and got them a permanent place in the colony to stay. And that was by upgrading all of our houses up to level 4. And this episode, we are going to continue to help them out a little bit. So, for the ones that do want to stay, I've upgraded all the houses, but there are still a few that don't want to stay. They actually want to start scouting out into the wilderness to see what's actually out there for them. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to really open up this rear gate here because, I mean, it just opens up to a giant wall of stone. This isn't really, this isn't, I got to get rid of this. So what I want to do today is carve all this junk out, re-terraform it, get ourselves a path going out into the wilderness. I could probably put another guard tower out here, just kind of like to help us out, because I believe the borders come out to right about this point here. But yeah, let's give them a path going into the wilderness so they can explore, do whatever they want, come and go. Maybe that might even open us up to trade for any other colonies that are located deeper inland. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to need a lot of, well, mossy cobblestone, because I mean our roads take mossy cobblestone, and I mean obviously cobblestone and andesite and stone, gravel, that's all easy stuff to get, but mossy cobblestone, I don't have a very stable source to get that. Coming in here, I mean, yeah, I do have a little bit, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Either way, I do want to make this stuff a little more renewable. Now, obviously, I can go anywhere and put down a block, bone meal it, and harvest all the moss, but no one wants to do that manually. I know I certainly don't. And I have been saving some of it from the mining machine because we have been mining through a bunch of lush caves. But still, I kind of want to make this renewable, and I want to make the cobblestone auto-magically and also mossy brick as well. And then be able to recall it from this board right here. Man, this board really is growing. I'm loving it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another module in here, and that's going to be dedicated to just making moss blocks. Now this is going to be kind of a big module, so I think I'm going to have to slot it into this corner. I am missing a couple modules here. I could probably knock something out really quick. But all in all, I do want the moss maker to be in the corner here, just because it's going to be so big. Kind of like what we did with the XP farm over here. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that I've got some signs laid out, and that's kind of telling me what I want to do. Yeah, these two spots, I've got a little sign right here. Let's see what we got. Copper tank. I already did copper tanks. Okay, I'm a little unorganized here, but yeah, let's toss in a couple modules here and just to fill the space. Okay, for this first one here, I'm actually going to do a twofer. So I'm going to have this one making sugar, which is just pretty simple, just doing something like this, and done. That's the sugar farm pretty much made. I mean, I just got to wire it up. That's about it. The next one over here, I'm actually going to have this one making dried kelp for us. So that's going to go there. I don't need a ridiculous amount of it. I'll probably drop it out one at a time. Yeah, let's just drop it out one at a time, because I don't want it to go too fast and then ruin our kelp supply and all that good stuff. So you put a fan there. Ooh, that means it's going to be at max power all the time. It's fine. There we go. Perfect. Okay, that's pretty much built. Now I just need to finish up our wireless links and yeah, finish wiring this one up, and that should be done. Okay, looks like those two are working. We are getting sugar flowing in over there, and we've got kelp coming in here, getting cooked and turned into dried kelp. Perfect. That's already going up, and that one's going up. All right, everything's looking good. I like it. You know, looking at all these modules here, it would be easy for me just to get in here and start making every little thing, and I don't know if I really want to do that. I think I'll probably just stick with making the tedious stuff, Because, I mean, I can make a module to make shafts, and then make a module to make cogwheels, make a module to make gearboxes and large cogwheels. Yeah, it get pretty full pretty quick, and by the time I get all those modules done, it's like, well, the factory will be done, and I have nothing else to use all that stuff for. So I don't think I'm gonna get pretty crazy with making every little single thing that the Create mod has to offer. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on, you know, the harder stuff for me to make. So obviously, like dried kelp, I have to put it into a cooker and wait for it to get cooked, and then I can craft it into my belt. So I could do a belt module here, but I'm not going to, because it's so easy to craft once I've got the dried kelp. Now, sugar, I have a use for sugar for later on. We'll probably get into some of the confectionery items that Create has to offer. So I went ahead and got that one out of the way too. Now, things like the copper tanks, that's a little more difficult to make because the barrels are a little complex, and then you have to combine them with the second item. So yeah, I'm content with that one there. And yeah, so far most of these items have been, you know, fairly the annoying stuff to make. So now we're starting to get down the line and getting into the easier stuff to make that, I could just easily make myself, and I don't need to waste a module for. I think I've got a couple more create items I want to make, and for this one, I think I want to do probably the fluid pipe. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of fluid pipes once I start getting into the confectionery stuff. So fluid pipes, just an easy recipe right there, which is pretty much, at least the setup is going to be the same as making the fluid tanks. So all I have to do is copy this module over here, and I'm pretty much done. That's how it needs to be. And looks like we are operational. Perfect. Pipes are going in there. Yeah. That works out good. Okay, good. Now, with all that taken care of, I've got to figure out how to do this moss farm. So I know you can use bone meal on a moss block, and that's going to spread the moss around. So I'm thinking we need to set up some sort of a system to, well, spread the moss and mine it up, and then take the extra items like the bushes and the carpets and the grass seed and all that stuff, recycle it back into bone meal and spread it out again. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a complicated system here. So I'll probably have this back area reserved for the actual blocks, and there we go. I don't need a ridiculous amount of storage. Probably something like that. Okay. Okie dokie. I just got back. Whoa, where am I going? I just got back from a bit of some creative world testing. So I went to my creative world, tested this out, and I think I got a halfway decent design here. So we are limited on space here, so I don't want to make this thing too massive because I've got to be able to receive stone, and I've got to be able to make bone meal. So, yeah, we might start running out of room here. Okay, so we're gonna let's put our stone right there. Probably, yeah, let's go a little big with it. Okay. Stone will be received from there. That should be the only input to this machine. I'm going to seed it with some bone meal myself, but it should become completely self-reliant on bone meal once that is done. All right, now we're going to do this with a windmill bearing here. Let's see. Then we could get rid of this here. So basically, it's going to be swinging around, harvesting, spreading the moss, and replanting or replacing the stone. All right, we're going to put a few signs right here. That should stop the water. Anything that gets harvested will go into this water stream here. And that's going to get picked up by this belt right here. Okay. Collection system done. Coming up here, let's see, let's do a single block there. So this is going to be the floor. What's going to be harvested right here all the way around. I'm thinking I will go up 2 blocks, and then now we need to put deployers up here. Ooh, I gotta be careful with my space. Okay, we got something like this going on. This thing looks like a huge mess, but it makes sense here. Okay, so portable interfaces, that's what's going to be bringing in the bone meal and the stone. I could have just done one, but yeah, whatever. I have two going, so one of them is going to be dedicated to bone meal and one of them is going to be dedicated to stone. So I'm going to allocate locations in this chest, so I'm going to fill it up with a bunch of slots for stone and a bunch of slots for bone meal. Once it's full, it's not going to take a whole lot to run this machine. This whole contraption here, this like four-way cross looking thing, is going to spin around in circles. So these three right here, actually I could just change that to be two. Yeah, that could only be two. So the last two of them there, actually, you know what? I'm going to change that right now. I don't need this one. There we go. So the last two are going to be putting down stone. And this one right here is going to be just going around bone mealing the moss block there. And those moss blocks are not going to get harvested at all. So it's just going to keep bone mealing those, and that's going to spread the moss out to the stone. And then over here, I've got the drills, and those two lower ones are going to be drilling out the newly created moss blocks, and the upper one there is just going to be drilling out like the carpets and azalea bushes, stuff like that that's actually getting in the way. Okay, hopefully all that makes sense. Hopefully it works. This is actually a smaller version than what I was testing with. I hope everything works. I just need to glue everything up and then we will be ready to try. Looks like it's spinning around just fine, but it is harvesting out that block there, which I did not intend, but I don't think that's too bad. Yeah, that means we will have 4 moss blocks instead of having 8. You know, I did find a fatal flaw in my system here. If I was to shut off this machine, I wouldn't be able to shut off the windmill bearing, which means it would keep placing blocks and bone mealing forever, so, and wasting all that material. So I'm gonna have to get rid of the windmill bearing and put like a mechanical bearing probably on the top, because I don't want to disturb this water stream. So I'll probably put it up top and have to wire it up all somehow, and yeah. So I'll have to figure that out. Not a big deal, but yeah, that's one more thing we have to do. Alright, I think I'm going to get this thing all wired up and figure out where everything's going to run. I got composters to put down. I've got to run certain lines because we're not going to be able to harvest all the material. Sometimes we're going to accidentally produce cobblestone, so I need to get rid of the cobblestone somehow. Unless, can you do this with cobblestone? No, you can't. Okay. Man, that would make things so much simpler if you could. Okay, but anyway, we got a lot of work to do, got a lot of planning, gotta run a bunch of lines, and yeah, we'll figure it out. Oh, man. Alright, guys, I think we got something here. Holy cow, this thing got complicated real quick. Alright, let's take a look. Starting with the very beginning, stone is going to flow in from this line, get sucked up here. It's going to come out this line here and get sent up this chute up here into this portable interface thingamajig. And that's going to get fed into that chest right there. Alright, that's all good. From there, it's going to get dropped off by those 2 deployers right there and placed down. Meanwhile, this... where is it? Uh-oh. I did something wrong here. It's going to get dropped off. And then it's going to get mined up really quick. Oh, no, it shouldn't get mined up like that. I need to flip those around and reverse this whole machine. Okie dokie, that's better. Okay, so those 2 deployers are dropping off the stone. Then this single deployer is bone mealing all the moss blocks. And then those 3 are dealing with what's left behind. So the 2 outer ones are mining any moss blocks. And then the upper one is mining any carpets and azalea bushes. So that way we could continue to bone meal. You know, I may actually have to put something there to harvest the grass, because I think the grass might actually interfere with the bone mealing process, but I guess we'll see. Okay, from there, all the items that are mined up drop down into this water stream, get sent over here, get sent up this line, and it gets separated out. So moss blocks and cobblestone go into this item vault here, and then the rest goes over here to get composted up and turned back into bone meal. Once it does, it goes into the hoppers there, which they deploy it right onto the belt there. Belt goes here, goes up this line, and comes out here, and then gets sent back to the machine. Okay, that's a nice closed loop there for the bone meal. And then the moss blocks come over here. Moss blocks go into its mass storage vault. Meanwhile, the cobblestone, I didn't want to just waste the cobblestone, so I'm going to drop it down here and send it down into here. And that should be lava, not a campfire. I don't know why I put that there. But anyway, it's going to get recooked and sit back into the system through here. Now I got to figure out what takes priority, whether it's going to be the brass funnel that takes priority or the hopper that's going to take priority. So that might be subject to change here in the future. I think I just need to start plugging stuff in and seeing what happens. Oh man, this thing has taken a stupid amount of time to do. Alright, it is finally working, and I got everything, well, hopefully I've got all the bugs worked out, and yeah, we should be good. So this thing is producing, it's composting, it's collecting all the moss, it's doing all the things. Now I did have to make a few changes, like in here I had to add a double belt system because occasionally with the water being so close over here, occasionally a piece of material would get stuck on this belt and that would just jam up the whole system. Oh, and also I put a wall here to prevent stuff from flying everywhere. Yeah, so we had to do a lot. But at least it's working, and it's working pretty good. Now there is another thing I want to do to this little farm here, and that's to connect it all the way up here. Let's see, where is, right here. So we've been collecting moss from our mining system, and I can just connect that. Ooh, that's going to be a tight fit. I might be able to connect it up right here. Yeah, it's right above me. That's going to be a tight fit. Let's see if I could squeeze in some chutes in here to connect all that up. So far, the farm has only produced 1%. It's incredibly slow, but you know what? It is producing. And the last one should be right there. Yep, moving moss blocks, 16 of them at a time. Okay, that's all going down in here, and that should fill it up. So that way, anytime we mine, we fill up this machine first before the machine actually has to turn on. There we go, we're already at 3%. I don't actually know how much moss is up there, but well, I guess we're going to find out right now. Okay, with that farm done for now, I can move on to the next farm here, and this is going to be a twofer. And this is the whole reason why we made the moss farm right here. So for this next farm, it's going to be the mossy cobblestone and the mossy brick sort of setup. And yeah, I should be able to just slide those in right here. Now they're not going to be used for anywhere else in the factory, so I'm just going to be sending them down the line whenever I need them. Okay, so the idea is to get the 3 vaults right here. So this is going to be for cobble, this will be for moss, and this will be for the stone. And then we'll do all our crafting along this belt here, and yeah, spit it out and be good to go. So mossy cobblestone is actually pretty simple to make. I mean, that's about it. It's all done with that. However, the brick, I forgot about the mossy stone bricks. That's going to require a little more work. Now I'm thinking for the mossy stone brick, we need to actually bring it up a little bit. I guess I could probably just leave the vault there. As long as these things don't connect. I don't think they connect. No, they didn't. We should be fine. And I'm going to bring some fans up here. Let's go up this way, and might as well go up a couple there as well. Well, this turned into a complicated mess really quickly. Holy cow, I did not think it would be like this. Okay, yeah, I'll explain this thing once it's working, but yeah, let me wire it all up and get it alive first. And it's alive. All right, we are getting mossy cobblestone and mossy stone bricks. Okay, perfect. So that is all working. So, okay, how this thing works is, let's start with the cobblestone. Cobblestone's super easy. Cobblestone comes in here, gets put into the basin, and then I've got a couple hoppers being split up here. So the middle line has got the mossy stuff coming in. Ooh, you know what? I could probably increase that. I could change that to a brass funnel instead. But anyway, that goes into this hopper. That hopper immediately sends it over this way, as well as this hopper underneath grabs materials from the one above and sends it over there. So that's how I was able to split the mossy cobblestone between the two lines. Ooh, yeah, we're running low on mossy cobblestone. If I change that to a brass, I might as well change this one to a brass as well. There we go. And there we go. That should increase it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, and it's pumping out. Good. Now, as for the stone brick one, we've got stone coming in there. It's getting sucked up with that fan right there. Getting sent out into this smasher up here, which is turning it into the bricks. That is dropping down into the smart chute, which comes over here. And it's really hard to see, but it lands on that belt right behind those encased gear drives. Gets sent into the basin, which it gets mixed with the moss, and yeah, that's it. It's all created. So that's all looking good. I think I'm going to set my thresholds. I don't need a ridiculous amount of this. I don't want to kill off my moss supply just yet, so I'll probably do like a 20% for both of them. Okay, that should be all set up, and then I'll just have to set up my return line, and we should be good. Ooh, we did lose 10% on our moss, but that's all right. I mean, it is making, I could see it's pumping out right now. That's fine, that's fine. But yeah, that was at 35%, 36%, right around there, before we started stealing moss from it. So yeah, everything's working. Alrighty, we are out of the factory and ready to start mining. Yeah, it's nice to be out of there for a change. All right. I think we're ready. I've got my trusty miner all set up, and I've got it modified so it can start doing the slopes for the mountains. And I've got some saw blades set up on top. Yeah. I think we're ready to go. Let's get to it. Now, I'm gonna have to set this thing up in a spot where it's not going to interfere with anything. I kind of don't want to touch this chunk loader, so I'll probably start it somewhere over here, and I don't want to interfere with the main part of the mountain either. So yeah, I'm thinking about right here where that mossy cobblestone is. Okay, I'm gonna have to lay out a bunch of track. Okay, let's start with something like that. And yeah, let's get to it. I went through that ruined portal that was sitting here. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with just covering this thing up, so okay, no big deal. And there we go. The road to the wilderness has been opened. All right, looking good. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with this terraforming project that we did here. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, those are all vanilla trees, so you know, it is what it is. Coming along this road, I've got it pretty well covered. Like it's just heading out into the dense forest. And, ooh, there's a creeper. Watch out. But yeah, just heading on out into, well, into nothing for now until we figure out what we want to do later on and where we want this road to go. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. And of course, I did some terraforming around, added some dead bushes, planted some grass, added some moss blocks, you know, that sort of thing to make it look like the taiga again. And I like how some of these trees didn't actually grow at all, so it adds a little more to it. Eventually, I'll probably come in here and add some like lanterns around to light up the area to make it a little safer. But for now, I'm happy with the dark, spooky forest for now. But anyway, I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. Definitely super happy with how this turned out. And yeah, we got a lot of modules done today too. And I'm always looking forward to seeing what we're going to do on the next episode. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for me today. If you guys are enjoying this series so far, please leave a like and a subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.